On and let's talk about the center's mega electronics manufacturing boost. The fact that it's a 22,919 crore electronics manufacturing PLI scheme that they've outlined, and that includes, of course, display camera modules, non-surface mount devices, multi-layer printed circuit boards, lithium-ion cells for digital applications. Let's try and understand what are the repercussions of all of this for not just the industry but individual companies as well. We have Pankaj Mohindru, the chairman at Indian Cellular and Electronics Association. Along with him, we also have Saurabh Gupta, the CFO at Dixon Technologies, joining in on the show right now. Gentlemen, both of you, thank you so much for your time. Pankaj, if I could start off with you, with India aiming to become a global electronics manufacturing play, is the outlay under this PLI scheme sufficient to give the required boost that both the industry and the country needs?
Uh, you know, Obviously one is never satisfied with incentive schemes, but I think the government has to balance out the fiscal position and the need to develop electronic manufacturing. But I'd like to add here that the state governments will supplement this. So actually the figure would be more like, 40,000 crores, 35, 40,000 crores, because the state governments come in with their own schemes. The stalwart state governments, which are UP and Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, these uh, states are very eager to have electronic manufacturing there. And we are already a global scale electronic manufacturer as far as mobile phones and smartphones are concerned. At a scale of $60 billion, that's a global scale. And I think scale is a big magnet also. We are increasingly noticing it that it's not only stimulus which is important. I think scale brings a lot of stimulus in itself and brings tailwinds into the industry. So that is a very important factor. And that $60 billion is, now impacting the motivation of the global industry and Indian industry for the other segments also, like IT hardware, consumer electronics, hearable wearables, auto electronics, medical electronics, all of this. So that is something which I think is factor number one, the scale we've achieved in mobile phones. So we would like to have the same kind of scale, maybe not at that level. So the mobile phone journey has to be sustained, and the other segments have to kick in big time. And that is how we will move from the current 135, 140 billion to $500 billion. And that's not a pie in the sky kind of a number, because we have already achieved 400% growth in the last few years. In the last 7, 8 years, we have grown 400% in the overall electronics. Mobile phone has grown about 2,400% in the last 7, 8 years. So this is a robust scheme. It's with tremendous consultation with the industry. The foundational industries will come up. So there are sub-assemblies in this, which they have already taken off, but they needed more support. And there are foundational industries like PCB, what you mentioned, uh, cells for digital applications, which are different from the other cells which go into solar or electric vehicles. So it's a very targeted, very specific scheme. And we already have great prospects ready to invest in the scheme. Obviously, more outreach will be required, but there is already a very healthy pipeline.
But Saurabh, help us understand, being an industry player, how committed is Dixon Technologies and is looking to participate in this PLI scheme? How much investments are you planning for this initiative, and which segments will be the key focus areas?
A very targeted and focused scheme on incentivizing component manufacturing in India. And if India has to achieve a target of 500 billion electronics production, I think so component has to be components has to contribute a significant portion of that. So in Dixon, yes, we have already announced our partnership with HKC on the display module side, both for mobiles, IT hardware, and going forward, we'll also get into the TV displays as well. So that should start manufacturing. We should start manufacturing that by October, November this calendar year. We are also aggressively pursuing partnerships on the camera module side. Hopefully, we should be able to conclude and close them in the next 3 to 4 months. And then at some point of time, we will also look at partnerships on the precision components and mechanicals. So all these three components, which is display modules, camera modules, as well as the mechanicals, are part of this component PLI scheme. And we think we are very much committed to investments, and we'll make significant investments over the next 3 years. So the numbers are being worked out, but my sense is it can be to the tune of 700, 800 crores over the next 3 years, and it will really add a lot of strength and moat in our existing business of mobiles and IT hardware. So we are really very thankful to the government for announcing this scheme.
But Saurabh, within this particular scheme, help us understand that which segments particularly will be in focus, because yes, of course, we do understand that you have announced a partnership when it comes to your display manufacturing. But other than that, camera module manufacturing is the other interest area. Give us some sense that in this particular segment, what are the capex plans and how are you seeing this segment to grow in the times ahead?
Yeah, so display, we are creating a large capacity of 45 million mobile displays and most probably 3 million IT hardware displays. Camera modules, we are presently working both on the inorganic side and on the organic side as well. We will take a call in the next couple of months there, but this definitely will also come through a partnership kind of route, JV kind of route, which of course with one of the largest players in that category, who also happens to be a supplier to the existing brands that we are manufacturing in mobiles. So yeah, so I think so depending on organic and organic, my sense is that would determine how much capex we end up putting. But broadly, yeah, it can be in the range of 200, 300 odd crores. So broadly 500 to 600 crores in display and almost 200 to 300 crores is what we are targeting in the camera module side. This will happen over a period of next to 2.5 years.
All right, so 200 to 300 crores is what you are targeting for the camera module segment. But Pankaj, give us some sense that India does remain heavily dependent on imports for when it comes to batteries, displays and camera modules from markets like China, South Korea and Japan. But given this particular scheme, how is import substitution is expected to play in, and we still will be import dependent when it comes to the raw material requirements. Give us some sense that how is India likely to play in order to substitute import? What could be the key steps further to be taken by the government?
So we reject this import substitution theory. Because I'll just give you a number. China's import of electronics is over $650 billion, right? The powerhouse of electronic manufacturing, so to say. Electronics is truly globally integrated supply chains. So I think this is not possible that one can look at something like import substitution. We are going to become a major export hub and build scale. Along with that, what will happen is that import substitution will be a natural consequence of supporting that. India has to become the most competitive nation in electronics, the easiest place to do business, and also firing on all cylinders, all segments of electronics. We don't want to be a sectoral focused, specializing in mobile phones, etc. The objective of the foundational industries and this scheme is that horizontally we'll build capabilities for sub-assemblies and components, which was little bit eluding us earlier. The imports will continue. In fact, electronic imports will go up substantially from what they are now. But exports will be from $35 billion today, which was very insignificant a few years back. We will be at $200 billion plus of exports when we hit the $500 billion. that's the plan. The plan is not to, have Atam Nirbharta per se, but to make the world Nirbhar on India.
That's a great
And
point.
the supply chains should be seamless, flow of technology should be seamless, flow of skills should be seamless.
Right.
It is not that we are wanting to create a world which is, gloriously isolated, away from the global supply chains. That's
Right.
not how it works.
All right, gentlemen, really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us. Now, here's something.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.